Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray, joined this week again by Rich Eisen, editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, good to see you here on the weekend. So the governor is, the ink is out of his pen, pretty much. All the bills that he signed and vetoed, any one or two that stand out to you?
Well, of course, there were many, but I'll tell you a couple that stand out to me was, first of all, his veto of Senate Bill 1047, which was from Scott Wiener, who's from San Francisco, would have implemented quite a bit of oversight and regulation on artificial intelligence. If you are doing anything in this world today, you're being impacted by artificial intelligence. It was vehemently opposed by most of the big tech companies, and they ultimately got their way. As we know, our governor has a pretty strong connection to big tech, and he vetoed that bill. Did not make Scott Wiener very happy. It certainly didn't make a lot of the proponents for more regulation happy. We'll see what happens next year.
Let's talk about November 5th. What are you finding about projected turnout? In a presidential election, we generally do fairly well nationally. How about California? What are you finding?
In 2020, California had slightly over 80%, which I believe is a record. Our folks that we trust tell us they're anticipating maybe about 78%. So surprisingly to me, a little bit probably of a downtick. We'll have to see how that plays itself out. If it equals 2020, that's still pretty significant turnout.
Okay. Women, for the first time in history, will be the majority in the Senate. Is that a guarantee, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, right now, based on who's in the runoffs, women will have at least 21 seats in the 40-seat California Senate in the fall, which, again, in the 174 years of the California legislature, this will be the first time that's happened. Certainly, now we've had women in leadership before. Toni Atkins just left the position this year. It's going to be a really interesting thing to evaluate as we go forward. I know I'm certainly paying a lot of attention to it. We'll see. We'll see how, if there's a little bit. We also anticipate the entire legislature has a very good chance of being female majority by 2028. Only Nevada. Nevada's the only other state. Colorado was for a short time, but they went back to parity due to some folks leaving. So, but we're the big dog. We're the big dog in America. So it's all very interesting stuff to watch.
Yeah, nationally back in 2018, it was the first reference to the pink wave.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's catching on in California, too. Rich,
absolutely.
Thank you. Good to see you again. If you'd like to reach out to Rich, you can do so. Rich.Eisen@capitalweekly.net.